Welcome to Ground Control. In this video, we're going to talk about the installation of the machine. So we're going to talk about the drain line, the water supply line, the electrical, and we're also going to be talking about an external muffler. If your machine has an external muffler, you're going to want to pay close attention to that one. So for the drain line, we recommend that you use a 5/8 braided line. And this is going to attach to the barb fitting that is in the center of the machine, right behind the brew basket. So it's just a barb fitting, so you'll slide it on, and then you'll run the rest of it into the drain that's provided. You should have either a floor drain or a drain that has actually been provided that possibly has a bell cup on it that you can run the line directly into. And then we're going to talk about that muffler line that I mentioned earlier. So if you do not have an internal muffler, you're going to need to put this on in order to reduce the noise of the vacuum pump. So you need to have 30 feet of this 3/8 tubing, which attaches to that vacuum line right under the machine. It's a little bit behind where the barb fitting is and to the right. And that is where this would go, and that 30 feet, then the rest of it winds up inside the cabinet, either at the floor drain with the end of the line in at the floor drain, so any water that comes through goes into that drain. Or if it's a drain line that's higher up off the floor, then you would want to suspend this and then just run the end of the tube into that line. So that's important. This is only for machines that do not have an internal muffler. And then your water line is going to be the same type of tubing, and that is going to run to the last John Guest fitting that you will find towards the back of the machine next to the electrical, and that's going to be your water supply, and you'll plug right into that. And then once you plug it in, you're going to do your usual. You're going to crack the water open. You're going to check for leaks. The next piece that you're going to do is going to be looking at your electrical. So I just grabbed this as a sample. We use an L14-30. That's what comes with the machine. So there's two hots, a neutral, and a ground. Before you plug the machine in, it's critical that you double check the power at the outlet. And I know that sounds like an obvious statement, but we always like to issue that reminder. So you're going to want to check from ground to hot, then you're going to check from ground to your L2 hot, and then from ground to neutral. You should have 120 volts from ground to neutral on both legs, about 120 volts. And then from ground to neutral, you really don't want any additional voltage on that line. So if it's in the range of 10 or more, you're going to want to have that looked at to make sure, and don't plug it in until you make sure of why you're getting that reading, and eliminate it if at all possible. You could have a hot grounding to that neutral line that potentially is providing that and could do damage to the machine. The other thing is that when you go across the two hots, you should have anywhere from 208 to 220 volts. We do have a 240 volt version machine, but on average, or more often than not, it's going to be that 208 to 220. And so once you confirm that, you can plug the machine in. And before you power everything on, before you turn the machine on, we just want to do one more step, which is you're going to level the machine. So the most important thing is your left to right, just for aesthetic purposes. You want to make sure the machine looks good. But then we're going to want a 1/2 inch pitch from front to back. So the front of the machine needs to be 1/2 inch higher than the back of the machine, and that allows the drip tray inside the system to all the water to drain into that and then drain out of the system. And the way to do that is just by adjusting the legs underneath the machine. They're just like any other coffee brewer that has adjustable legs on it. You can adjust your left to right, and then you lift up on the machine to do the front and lower each leg. And then just step back and take a look, and then just verify that it's looking good from left to right, and you should be good to go.